Welcome back. Well, this past weekend marked a breakthrough for the two Canadians who have been detained in the People's Republic of China for nearly 2 years now. Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor were able to speak to Canadian consular officials virtually. Now, the last time Canadian officials were granted access to this pair was back in January, just before Beijing halted in-person visits over COVID-19 concerns. Ottawa has called the detentions arbitrary, and this morning, China's foreign ministry is hitting back against those comments. Well, let's get more details now from reporter Patrick Falk in Beijing. Patrick, good to see you once again. Let's begin with the foreign officials in China. What did we hear from them today?
Well, Michael, one of the things that no doubt a lot of people are going to want to know is whether or not the two Michaels are going to get access to Canadian consular officials in person anytime soon, after these virtual visits that you mentioned just a moment ago happened just in recent days. There wasn't any clarity on that from the Foreign Ministry. It only said that it would work according to epidemic control measures, but spokesperson Zhao Lijian also hit back, as you say, at some of the very strong criticisms that Canada's leveled at China in recent days over what it's called the arbitrary detention of the two Michaels. He said that it was wrong to refer to their detention as arbitrary. He said that they were charged with endangering China's national security. And he also accused Canada of ganging up with other countries against China and said that doing so was futile and it would backfire. He also said that these these virtual visits were arranged on the basis of mutual respect because of care for each other's concerns. So some people might read into that as perhaps suggesting that if Canada doesn't tone down some of these comments, that those sorts of visits might be more difficult in the future.
Now, as many people know, a huge part of this story is linked to the detention of Huawei CFO Meng Wanzhou here in Canada. What did we hear from Beijing about that?
Yeah, well, that's right. Zhao Lijian did also speak at length about Meng's case. In particular, he talked about this issue of Canada withholding particular documents, especially those between American and Canadian government departments on the grounds of confidentiality privilege. And he said that this was a clear indication of some sort of cover-up. And he said that Canada keeps on saying that it's a country that respects the rule of law, and yet it's, he said, hiding the truth about the issue with Meng Wanzhou. He also said, again, hitting back at these claims of the two Michaels being arbitrarily detained, that if anything, it was the Meng Wanzhou that was being arbitrarily detained. But again, this is a very clear indication of China linking those two cases, even though it says that the two Michaels are not being held arbitrarily and are charged, as he said, on grounds of national security.
Patrick, thank you for the update. That's Patrick Falk in Beijing.